What's going on, guys? Zers here. Now, while this is not the Essence of Thought video response that you wanted, this is the video response that you needed. No, I'm just messing with you. Well, while I am preparing to respond to Essence of Thought's challenge on the best argument I have for God, I decided to take a look at his channel and go deeper, go way back in time, you know what I'm saying? To check out his older videos, and the one I stumbled upon was the reasons why he fights against religion, basically why he is an anti-theist. And I decided, may as well take a gander at this and respond to it, because I feel like if these are the reasons why he's against religion, well then, he's not really against religion. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Let's go.
Greetings and welcome, viewers. If you don't know, I am Essence of Thought, aka Peter John Thurston. As I reach my 100th video, I feel it is important for me once again to go over the big question that so many theists seem to enjoy asking. Why am I here? Not in the sense that what is the meaning of life, but why am I as an atheist so occupied in pulling apart religion piece by piece? Why are my actions as an individual so militant, if you consider voicing an opinion on the same level as shooting an abortion doctor, launching missiles into civilian populations, or flying a plane into the side of a skyscraper, as defines the militant Christian, Jew, or Muslims?
Now you know damn well that's not what people mean when they say militant atheist. In fact, one of the definitions of the word militant, according to Google, it is combative, aggressive, in support of a political or social cause, and typically favoring extreme, violent, or confrontational methods. So, extreme? No. Violent? Not at all. Confrontational? Definitely. So, yes, some atheists are definitely militant.
Well, I have my reasons for standing up and airing my opinion in a peaceful manner.
Although very peaceful, you do it in a very condescending manner. And in fact, it's more so condescending than it is peaceful.
Maybe I can show you why. The best way to look at this is to look at what religion is doing within our world and decide if it truly is worth taking action against.
Wait, so does that mean you're going to look at the positives and the negatives of religion? Of course he's not going to do that. Who are we talking? This is an anti-theist. Of course he's not going to do that.
Firstly, there's the factor of money. Churches receive many tax exemptions, receiving free public services such as fire protection and policing, yet they do not cater all citizens. They are exclusive organizations by their very design.
What the fudge are you talking about? Churches and organized religions are available to anyone and everyone who wants to join that church. They're not exclusive at all. If you want to join a church, you can. You can join any church you want to join. What?
Not being able to benefit all of society's members, or even a good proportion due to there being such a large range of sects and denominations. Then why is it that they receive such a privilege?
The answer is pretty obvious. It's because churches solely survive based off the donations given to them by their members. Members who could be anyone, any race, any sex, anything. Anyone can be a member of any church they so choose. And again, churches survive off of the donations given to them by their members.
This is possibly best seen in the US. The churches there receive over $71 billion annually in tax exemption.
That's because they're all donations. You cannot tax somebody's donation.
That comes out of everybody's pocket.
Wait, okay, first of all, that argument would only work if the government was taking the taxes from everybody and then giving that money to the church. That's not what's happening. Individual churches are being donated to by individual members of those churches. Also, some churches, like I think T.D. Jakes' church, likes to sell different types of books and DVDs. I know EX Ministries has lots of different DVDs and book series, not book series, but DVDs that they sell on their website. They solely survive based off the donations that people give them. I mean, to be against religion or organized religion because they survive off of people's donation is to be against Patreon. And if I'm correct, you are actually a member of Patreon, Essence of Thought.
The population of the US is approaching 315 million. So if you divide 71 billion between them, every US citizen pays on average $225 each year, whether religious or not.
You know, for someone who prides yourself on logic and reasoning and sensibility, that makes no sense at all. I've watched the video literally 4 times. I've watched that section 4 times. I do not see how you can say that people are paying for religious services if they're not attending or donating to said service. That makes no sense. I really hope that if you ever see this video and you ever respond or say something that you can explain that concept to me, because from what you've said, the two, they don't correlate. They don't make no sense. Sorry.
In a 2012 Gallup poll, 32% of Americans were identified as non-religious. This 32% makes up 100,800,000 individuals who do not associate with any religion paying for religious practices.
No, by donating. Unless those non-religious people are donating to the individual churches, your argument falls to shit.
It comes to a total of around $22,680 million US each year from non-religious US citizens going directly into the pockets of churches by paying for their services. To give you an idea of the impact of this money, according to the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organizations, i.e. the FAO, estimates that an annual sum of $30 billion US over a decade could eradicate world hunger, regardless of religious affiliation.
How? Seriously, how? Are the children going to eat the green dollars? How is money going to solve world hunger? No, to be completely literal, food is going to solve world hunger, or more specifically, the production of food. You mean to tell me they're going to use those $300 million to fund the production of food to help end world hunger? Then yes. But again, your argument already failed because churches survive solely off the donation of its paying members. Also, there are several different charities that are specifically designed to help end world hunger. Specifically designed, mind you. There's over 100. There's I know I can find a list of 10 of them that I'm about to read off to you right now. So here are the 10, the top 10 charities that are created to end world hunger. You have 1, Action Against Hunger. 2, Feeding America. 3, Bread for the World Institute. 4, Food Bank for New York City. 5, Freedom from Hunger. 6, The Hunger Project. 7, Hyper International. 8, Meals on Wheels. 9, Share Our Strength. And 10, Food for the Hungry. There's a list of 10 charities specifically designed to end world hunger. If those charities, which are specifically designed to help end world hunger, aren't making a dent in the problem, well then getting rid of religion won't help either. Ironically, the third organization, which was Bread for the World Institute, is actually a faith-based organization to confront Americans and world leaders about the policies to end world. The third one is a faith-based organization to end world hunger. You get rid of religion, you get rid of that charity which is specifically designed to end world hunger. Your case isn't looking too good right now, Essence of Thought.
That is 73.3% of the tab already covered if the US government stopped charging non-religious people for the practices of others.
The US government is not charging people for the practices of religious organizations. If the US government was, that would be strictly against the First Amendment of the US Constitution.
Then we have the factor of religious crimes against humanity.
What about the regular crimes against humanity?
These are so wide-ranging that it is hard to acknowledge them all. Throughout history, religion has proven itself time and time again to be the reason or even the excuse behind the most heinous of occurrences.
You want to know what else has been used as an excuse? The theory of evolution, rage, anger, frustration, the fact that some races are not as superior as others. Those are also excuses used to do very horrible things to people. In 1871, I think, the U.S. government scrapped all treaties with Native Americans because they thought that they were a race of stupid natives that didn't know what was going on. And then they forced them to go traverse the Trail of Tears on reservations. Nothing to do with religion, and yet an entire group of people lost their homes because someone thought that they were inferior. Nothing to do with religion, just because, just because the U.S. government wanted the land.
Israel's repeated breaking of the Geneva Convention, as well as many peace treaties drawn with the Palestinian population as a whole nation.
So we're just going to completely forget about all the drone strikes that Barack Obama commanded for, right? That didn't happen. And we're going to completely forget about our history. We're going to forget about the Civil War, right? That didn't happen, did it? I mean, the Civil War had nothing to do with religion, and lots of U.S. Soldiers all died on both sides. Nothing to do with religion, of course. What about the Punic Wars, the wars that Rome fought with Carthage? What about that? That had nothing to do with religion. From what I've seen in history, there have been lots of horrible wars and attacks sanctioned that have nothing to do with religion. Should you get rid of religion, you will not fix that problem. Should you get rid of religion, yeah, you may get rid of the excuse, but you won't get rid of the cause, and the cause is people vying for power. The cause of all of those attacks were people trying to obtain power. You get rid of religion, you get rid of the excuse. You don't get rid of the problem.
The Islamic attacks on the Western world under the unquestionable support of their supreme religious leaders, and the harboring and defense of priests convicted of sexually assaulting children, moving them to a new location or hiding them within the Vatican itself.
Well, it looks like you and I are in agreement there, because I don't like Catholicism all too much. However, even if you got rid of Catholicism, you would get rid of an institution that, well, doesn't technically allow it, but an institution that kind of, I wouldn't say perpetuates it. It certainly doesn't allow it to happen. It's not excused, but it does happen. Even if you got rid of Catholicism, you would still have to deal with predators. You'd still have to deal with children being raped. Your actual problem is not with the Catholic Church, it is with pedophiles. You have these pedophilic teachers who have sex with their 14-year-old boys. I will never forget about. Let's ask the critical question. Without religion, would they still have sex with those boys? Yes. They didn't have sex with those boys because of religion. They had sex with those boys because they were in lust with them. The same thing with the pedophilic Catholic priest. You get rid of the institution, okay, no longer will the church boys be raped, but regular children will still be raped by their fathers. Your issue is with pedophilia, the same as my issue. So attacking religion isn't going to fix the children who get raped by neighbors or get raped by janitors or social workers, because you gotta think about this, the foster care system. Lots of children get raped and get touched and molested in the foster care system. To be against religion, because Catholic priests rape their children, you must also be against the foster care system, because lots of foster care parents rape their children. Got to.
When asked which of these crimes makes me the angriest of most, I find it hard to select any above the other. Then I look at the atrocities committed against children in Africa at the hands of evangelical preachers, where children are tried and condemned as witches. Some are shunned. Others go under attempted exorcism with nails, fire, and boiling fluids. Others worse yet.
Again, you are against the abuse of children. You and I are in agreement there.
That's not to say that religion is the only motivator behind such things, as non-religious people can also commit such crimes.
I'm a little shocked you brought that up, but let's continue.
But never has a man committed such things for a lack of belief in God.
You know, as a person who loves to claim that people lie or purposely leave out information in their videos. I can't believe you told such a bold-faced lie to all of your viewers. Let me just read one of the many dictators that have lived in the history of the world. Let's talk about Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin became the leader of the Soviet Union after Lenin died in 1924 and launched the government programs that would make the country more progressive. His attempts to move to the new economy, however, led to the starvation of nearly 10 million people. With many intellectuals and activists not in favor of his leadership, Stalin also launched the Great Purge, killing every person who opposed him and his ideas. Now, Joseph Stalin was a communist, meaning he didn't believe in any type of religion or higher power. He was an atheist. And of course, it's definitely possible for anybody to kill millions of people if they're corrupt and have power. If you got rid of religion, you would not get rid of those people.
By removing the impact of religion, we remove one of the sparking factors and lower the damage inflicted by religion onto the world.
Same way if you remove cars, you will remove the amount of car accidents that happen on the road.
Finally, we have what religion does to the individual, how it tortures the mind, torments them, telling them that in many cases they are lesser beings not worthy of this earth.
Well, I have not personally had that problem with religion. In fact, I grew up in a house where I was able to choose whether or not I wanted to believe in God or not. And I came to Christianity by my own volition. Well, yes, it's true. I did go to church as a child. I did not pay attention very much, and I didn't really care while I was there. But as I got older, I did. It was my choice. In fact, I don't have very many friends who've had an experience like that when it comes to religion. Now, when it comes to dogmatic legalism, which is something you should study, if you study legalism, it would probably be the true adversary that you're facing to defeat. Then, yes, you're correct. And I'm with you there when it comes to Catholicism and legalism and any other type of dogmatic religion that tries to control people. You and I are in agreement. But as a whole, that's not religion. Now, of course, what you really are talking about is Christianity. However, religion encapsulates all types of stuff such as Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism. Well, I think Confucianism is more like a philosophy. But I do know you mean Christianity, even though you say religion. But I have not had that experience, and not a lot of my friends have had that experience. But I'm sure some people have, and the true battle is against legalism, not religion as a whole.
The three Abrahamic religions, the most popular, all stand by this.
No. Legalism stands by that. You gotta get your terms correctly.
Stating that we're all born with sin, and the only way to overcome this innate defect is to accept the love of God and place Him above everything, including your family and even life itself. This demonstration churns my stomach, appearing to me as no different than a domestic violence situation.
Yeah, well, fuck. How do I respond to that? Well, I could say that, well, I mean, a person does come to God of their own volition, the same way a domestic violence victim would also go back to her abuser, except the abuser purposely harms the victim. You know, if God is the God of love and He's here to protect us and keep us safe, then He would set up rules and guidelines to do that for us. An abusive partner would not do that. An abusive partner would take advantage of the individual that continues to come back to them. The victim doesn't want to truly be in that situation unless she's a masochist, or unless he's a masochist. The only reason they stay is because they're forced to do so. And in Christianity, you're not forced to do anything you don't want to do. Now, maybe legalism, yes, but not Christianity. So, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a false dichotomy.
Where one partner seeks to undermine the confidence and self-worth of the other.
Except, wouldn't that be the complete opposite of Christianity then? I mean, we're told that Jesus loved us so much that He gave His only begotten Son to save us from our sins. In fact, we had this defect in us But God said, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, so I'm going to give up my son. And him, of his own volition, Jesus Christ decided to do it too. He's going to give up his life for us. That sounds very empowering. It sounds like we're special people. So, I don't know. I don't agree.
And keep them in line with the threat of violence. The only difference is that it's the clergy doing it to you as opposed to their proposed God.
And so, if you get rid of religion, you're not getting rid of the clergymen. Okay, maybe technically, since they won't be believing in God, but you will be exchanging it with the threat of corporal punishment. Well, not corporal, but with jail time. You know, the Big Daddy State does the same thing. Essence of Thought, you get punished for breaking the rules. But instead of you losing your soul, you lose your physical freedom. You get put in the penitentiary. Same thing. You know, you exchange God for Big Daddy government. You're a statist. Well, maybe you're not a statist, but there are a lot of atheists who are.
As of yet, they've still not managed to provide evidence of his existence. So again, when people ask why I actively oppose religion, looking back on the reasons, the better and more human and moral response is, why not?
Because at the end of the day, your actual problem is not with religion, it's actually with people abusing their power. You have to ask yourself the critical question. If I got rid of religion today, would that solve all the problems in the world? And the answer to that question is no, it wouldn't. Well, that's the end of this video and subsequently the end of mine. So if you guys like this video, please go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon.